What's up, guys? So Avengers Endgame has been out for a few days now, and it's the biggest box office opening weekend of all time, worldwide and domestic. $1.2 billion within 3 days, including Thursday night previews. That is absolutely insane, but I also think it opened a day or two early in some worldwide markets. But regardless, I believe this is going to be the biggest movie of all time. I do think it's going to catch Avatar, but we'll see. We will see. But this is my spoiler review of the movie. I just wanted to make a video about this because, I mean, there's so much that happens in this movie that I wasn't able to talk about in my non-spoiler review. If you check that out, that was extremely vague, as it should have been, because, you know, I wanted you guys to be surprised when you saw some of this. So I'm assuming that most of you have seen the movie and you know, are curious to hear, you know, some of my in-depth spoiler thoughts about it. So, you know, right off the bat, talking about, I guess, the plot of the movie, it's time travel. The movie takes place 5 years later. The first kind of 15 minutes of the movie we get pretty much right after Infinity War. We see, you know, what happens. Thanos uses the stones again to destroy the stones. Thor goes for the head. I thought all that was great. Loved the introduction to this movie. The scene on the ship with Nebula and Stark. Loved it. The opening with Hawkeye and his family. Loved it. I think it was masterfully directed, masterfully shot. And the score, I'm really getting used to the score for this movie as well. In the non-spoiler review, I said the Infinity War score was slightly better than the Endgame score overall. I'm starting to really get used to the Endgame score. I've seen this movie 4 times now, so I would probably say they're probably about equal to me at this point. I love both of the soundtracks, and the theme that really is starting to resonate with me now. The Alan Silvestri theme that he made for Stark, I guess, and the theme that plays at the funeral at the end of the movie when the camera's panning through all the characters. I really like that theme. And it's really starting to really hit with me now every time I see the movie. But yeah, I love that introduction to the movie. I love the 5 years later. I love that we see Captain America he's like at the support group. Now we're kind of getting an idea of what he would be doing in a world that he's not really having the shield and he's not really in suit Captain America. He's just Steve Rogers, and he's just a good guy, and this is the kind of stuff that he's doing. We see, you know, what's going on with the other, I guess, Avengers around the world. I mean, I don't know, Rocket Raccoon, Carol Danvers, Danai Gurira as Okoye. We're seeing what's going on with them, and I really like that. I like the Black Widow stuff. I love that she kind of really cares about Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye, and that's been set up through the other movies, and we really see that in this film. She goes to find him. She brings him in. I love the Professor Hulk kind of aspect of the movie. I love what they did with Hulk. I know some people had issues with it. They were kind of disappointed that we didn't see Hulk kind of really smash in this movie, but the way I see it, we had that in other films. I know this is the big finale, but the way I see it, the character continues to evolve. That is what I said in my non-spoiler review. These characters continue to evolve, and Hulk being one of them. Throughout all of these movies, Hulk continued to evolve. In the first Avengers movie, first Incredible Hulk movie, and in the first Avengers movie, we kind of get a Hulk that says 1 or 2 words, you know, hate the stairs, you know, that was hilarious. When he says puny god, we kind of get that, and then, you know, as the movies progress, Hulk progresses. And I love in this movie, he even progresses more, and now he's an intelligent Hulk, and I did love that. I love the scene in the restaurant where he's taking a picture with the kids, and Ant-Man's like, you know, you want to take a picture with me? And then they're like, you know, they didn't really say anything, but they're like, maybe not. And Ant-Man's just like, yeah, you know, not many, you know, nobody knows Ant-Man. It's okay. And he's like, come on, take the goddamn phone. I thought that was hilarious. One of my favorite bits of humor in the movie. And I think the Ant-Man stuff really worked as well. The Scott Lang stuff. When he gets out of the quantum realm, with the rat thing, I don't really mind it, whatever. But I love that scene where he reunites with his daughter. She's older. What a beautifully acted scene, a beautifully shot scene, the directing in that scene, everything about it, even just the writing, the very minute words that are used in this scene, I loved it. And the stuff with Thor, again, some people disliked it. for me personally, I really loved it because it's kind of realistic. You know, this guy lost everything. He lost his whole family. He finds himself completely guilty because he didn't go for the head the first time, and due to that, half the population got wiped out. So now, after killing Thanos, what he does, he goes drinks himself to get fat. We have fat Thor. We have a big belly gut Thor, and I really like that because it goes to show that this man just let himself go. He fell apart. He's a human being. You know what I mean? And that's what human beings do. I mean, some of them, anyway. I mean, when dealing with everything that he went through, he had nothing. What more could he lose, he said? His fitness, his shape, that's also what he lost. And I love that. But I also love that he joined the fight. You know, with all the time travel stuff, his mother knocked some sense into him. Eat a salad, love that line. And I love that when they went, you know, the time travel stuff, I love the groups that went. I love that Nebula goes with Rhodey. I love that Natasha goes with Clint. And I love that whole entire scene where she sacrifices herself. One of the most emotionally empowering scenes in the whole entire film. Absolutely love that. I love that Hulk kind of goes with Ant-Man, Cap, and Steve. Love that so much, and it led to such hilarious moments. Like I said, I hate the stairs. You know, that was great. We see Loki gets the Tesseract in this other reality, so now I'm guessing that's what the Disney Plus series is going to be. Love that. I love all the time travel stuff in this movie. Natasha's sacrifice, so powerful. I was totally into it. And then we have the finale of the movie, the last hour of the movie. I adore the last hour of this movie. It is so awesome. It's so well done, well shot, and everything that they did in this movie worked so well for me. The time traveling aspect, how we bring Thanos back into the fray, you know, with the 2014 Thanos, and the two Nebulas. I love that. I found it to be so smart. The writing was so fantastic, I felt. It just worked so well for me. So he comes back and he says, you know what? I realized what I did didn't work, wiping out half humanity. So you know what my new plan is? I'm going to kill everybody. And I'm going to start a new planet, and then they're going to see me as some sort of god and really be thanking me. That's what he wants. And I love that. And I love the fight. Everybody comes back. Alan Silvestri's Avengers theme kicks in. Avengers assemble. On your left, all that works so well that even before that happens, the shot that Captain America is walking, he tightens his shield and he's walking and he sees Thanos' gigantic army and Thanos standing there. What a beautiful wide shot that was. It's probably my favorite shot in the movie. If not my favorite shot in the whole entire MCU, I loved it. The battle is great. Tony Stark sacrifices himself. That was the one thing Doctor Strange saw that they would win. That was the one time they would win. Tony Stark sacrificing himself for everybody. The guy that started the Marvel Cinematic Universe saves everybody. And I love that. It's so heartbreaking, though. That scene just grabs my heart, rips it out of my chest, and just shows it to me. The scene where Tony's dying, you know, after the whole I am Iron Man. Amazing. Tony's dying. Spider-Man goes up to him, talks to him a bit. You know, Rhodey's there. So powerful. You know, Pepper Potts comes, pushes him out of the way. Not pushes him, but she nudges him out of the way, and she says, Tony, look at me. We're going to be all right. You can rest now. I lost it when she said that. Earlier in the film when she said, you know, Tony says, you know, this whole time travel thing, I could just throw it in a lake or whatever, throw it in the bottom of the ocean, get rid of it, and go to bed. And Pepper says, but will you be able to rest? It's so poetic that she says that. You can rest now. After everything he's been through in all of these movies, you can rest now. Meaning death. It's so powerful. It's so unbelievably powerful. And the whole funeral scene, the first kind of arc thing that he had in his chest, proof that Tony Stark has a heart. I love they brought that back. Everything I was digging. And finally, Captain America's bit. You know, he got his life that he wanted to live. You know, I mean, he wanted Peggy Carter, and he got Peggy Carter. He went back in time to return the stones, and instead of coming right back, because Hulk says, you know, it's going to be 5 seconds for us, but for Cap, it's going to be as long as he wants. And he took his whole life. He, you know, went back, married Peggy. He got his dance. He aged. I'm guessing she passed, and he finally came back, giving the shield to Falcon. And that is the one thing in my non-spoiler review, if you're curious, that's the one thing I would have changed. I actually I'm okay with it now. So, I'm alright with Falcon getting the shield. That was the thing that I would have changed. Originally, I would have gave it to Bucky. But I realized Bucky was a terrorist at one point. You know, if someone says those words, homecoming, freight train, whatever the words were, in Civil War that kind of turned him into the mass assassin, you know, if that happens again, who knows what would happen. But I feel like Falcon is the more sane, I guess, if that's the right word, of the two. So I totally get why Falcon got the shield. And now Cap is an old man. And he doesn't die, but we're assuming that he will soon. I mean, look at him. You know, but he looks like he's in shape. He looks like, well, not in shape, but he looks like he's healthy still, you know, as an old man. But we'll see. But I just love that. I love how they handled Captain America. He got his dance. The movie ended. No end credit scenes. I don't think they needed any. This movie is incredible. I loved it. I would go as far as to say I think it's a masterpiece. The time travel stuff, sure you could nitpick the hell out of it, but you know what? It worked so well. And just the storytelling aspect of how they were able to do it, I was absolutely floored by. And the whole movie floored me. Like I said, I've seen it 4 times, and I want to see it again. Soon. Very soon. But times are still, you know, kind of sold out, so I'm going to probably wait a few days. But, guys, comment your thoughts in the comments section. What are your thoughts, spoiler thoughts on Avengers Endgame? What do you think about the movie? Also, you can subscribe to this channel for my non-spoiler review, trailer reactions, all that sort of thing. Reviews coming in the future. We have Longshot and The Intruder coming this week, so reviews for those will be up in a few days. Also, guys, you can follow me on Patreon if you want to help this channel grow. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links to those are in the description of this video. You can also follow me on Instagram at KingOfRises131. Guys, that's been it. Thank you very much for watching my spoiler review for Avengers Endgame. Over and out.